a concept that is extremely important in scripting and programming in general is going to be variables. So what we learned today will be applicable to pretty much any other programming language. So what is a variable? It's a fundamental concept in programming and technology, and what they really do is just hold information. Why is that important? Because it's going to help those programs store and access that information to do all kinds of cool things. It's going to make our scripts, right? Because scripts are programs, dynamic. We'll learn input, we'll learn how to read files, we'll learn all these cool tricks with scripts. And you'll see that variables are an important part of that feature of scripts of making them dynamic. So they store all kinds of information. It could be text, it could be numbers, or it could be the entire output of a command. So these are important to making your scripts reusable, flexible, and adapt to different inputs. There are two main types of variables we're going to cover. There's environment variables, which are set by the system, and then there's the variables that you define in your scripts, which are user-defined variables. So what is an environment variable? That's just a variable that holds important information about your shell session or just the broader OS. So these are predefined, preset by the system. They store information like your username, your home directory, the path, which is it just holds the location, the directories for executables or scripts. So let's say you have a folder where you're writing all of your scripts. You can put that path in your path variable. You can edit your system environment variable and make those easier to execute, so you don't have to do the dot slash in front of them. Like I said, they're predefined. They're accessible to all scripts, so they are global in their scope. So any script can access these values. Some examples of environment variables are the home directory, which is $home if you want to access it. The user, which is your current username. And like I said, the path variable, which holds important directories where those executable files are stored. You don't have to understand path, but if you've ever encountered issues with downloads, like in Windows, there's a path variable there as well that sometimes you need to edit to add the location of certain binaries so that that program can work. So user-defined variables, different than environment variables, these are the ones that you create in a script, and that's going to hold data, information, anything that you want to reuse, reference, reassign during the execution of that script. So say you want to hold on to the name of the user. You do name equals Alice. Now, if you want to make it dynamic, right, you could do name equals $user and assign it to the environment variable. So you can make local variables, right, or user-defined variables and assign them to environment variables. You can mix and match them. If you actually want to access the name variable, the value of the name variable, you'd use the $, just like I did here, $home. I could do echo home. What does the echo do? We're going to cover that, of course, at the next section, the commands related to variables. So yeah, these are very important, these variables, because they allow you to store and manipulate data dynamically. Of course, when we're writing our first scripts, variables might not seem that useful, but once we get to more complicated scripts, you'll see the true value of these variables. So there are a few rules to remember. Remember, we've got to follow the syntax in order to avoid errors. So variables in Bash must start with a letter. They could also start with an underscore. They cannot start with a number. That's the one thing they can't start with. The characters in general that variables names can have are letters, numbers, underscores. Just remember not to put the numbers in the front. You can put the numbers in the middle, at the end, anywhere else, just not the front. Variable names are case sensitive, just like directory and file names. A little trend to remember, right, if you ever ran into issues in some of those first labs. And then when you're assigning strings, so strings are just words, text values, you can use quotes for strings that have spaces or special characters. So for the most part, if you're assigning text, make sure to put quotes around them. Double quotes, we'll learn more about this. You don't have to worry about it right now. Allow variable expansion, single quotes treat the content literally. We'll learn more about that later on.